Good day, sir. I am Carl Matthew Villaver. I am here to describe the procedures and order of events for the safe conduct of the following. 1. Standing first line ashore, and 2. Making fast and unmooring. First, sending first line ashore. What is sending first line ashore? In most mooring operations, the first lines are required to get and hold the vessel in position until the remaining mooring lines are sent ashore and vessel is safely moored. This could lead to the first lines, usually the fore and aft spring lines, experiencing significant loads. First line ashore meaning in shaping, usually a fiber line put ashore first to help in hauling the ship into berth. First line ashore. Do we understand the risk? A number of fatalities and serious injuries have occurred across the maritime industry due to parting of mooring lines. This week's loss prevention poster highlights the fact that the first line ashore has the highest potential to snap given the level of load it can experience to steady a moving vessel. In most mooring operations, the first line are required to get and hold the vessel in position until the remaining mooring lines are set ashore and vessel is safely moored. This could lead to the first lines, usually the fore and aft spring lines, experiencing a significant loads. Without any load or tension, indicators the crew operating the winch may not come to know if the line has been tensioned beyond its breaking load. This makes the first line highly susceptible to part and snap back, causing a tragic incident. While the bridge team would focus on positioning of the vessel, it is the responsibility of the mooring crew to fully understand the associated risks and communicate this back to the bridge team. The safety of the mooring operations rests predominantly with the mooring crew and how well all the risks are communicated and understood within the team and with the bridge team. Now here are the 10 most important points to remember during mooring operations on ships. First is don't allow any extra crew member on the deck. Ensure that no extra personnel are present at the mooring station except those who are involved in the operation. 2. Consider weather condition. Before planning the mooring operation, consider the weather condition by taking factors as wind and current. The ship's master and responsible officer must have the details of current and future weather data before commencing the mooring operation. 3. Have knowledge of snapback zone and rope break. All personnel involved with the mooring operation should be aware of the snapback zones and rope bight. 4. Check all the mooring equipment. Check all the equipment, mooring winch, drums, windlass, etc. involved in the mooring operation for any kind of problem. Proper routine maintenance is the key to ensure smooth running of operation equipment and systems. 5. Check the tail of mooring line. If the mooring line is provided with tail or short lengths of synthetic fiber rope which are placed in series with the vessel winch mounted wires to decrease shoring line stiffness and thus to reduce peak line loads and fatigue due to vessel motions. Ensure same size and material of tails are used for all lines in the same service, breast, spring, and headlines. Different tail size and material would lead to uneven load in the mooring line. 6. Tend one line at a time. Only a one line should be tended at a time during mooring operation. If this is not done, it may increase the load in the other tended lines. If two lines are tended together, it may lead to overloading and breakage. Following the orders of the master or responsible ship officer properly to avoid any kind of mishap. 7. Keep a check on mooring line load. Ensure that the allowable braking load in any of the mooring lines does not increase 55% of its maximum brake load or MBL. This is to prevent the line from breaking. 8. Avoid mixed mooring. Mixed mooring is extremely dangerous. Generally, mooring lines of the same size and material should be used for all leads. If this is not possible due to the available equipment, all lines in the same service, breast lines, spring lines, head lines, and stern lines should be of the same size and material. 9. Keep a continuous check. Load on the mooring lines must be checked continuously even after the mooring operation is over. If there is any change in the ship's ballast condition, the lines must be slacked or tightened accordingly. The condition of the rope material should also be checked to foresee unfortunate accidents. And lastly, 10. Arrange the mooring lines symmetrically. All mooring lines must be arranged as symmetrically as possible with the breast line. The breast line should be perpendicular to the longitudinal center line of the ship, and spring line should be parallel to the longitudinal center line. That's the 10 important points of during mooring operation. Now, the unmooring service is understood as the service whose object is to release and cast off the lines of a vessel from the fixtures to which it is moored, following the sequence and instructions used by the captain and without affecting the mooring conditions of continuous vessel. Seafarers involved in mooring operations should be given additional instruction on the specific equipment and mooring configurations used on the vessel. This should include, but may not be limited to: 1. The type of winches and windlass and their operation. 2. The location of emergency stop buttons. 3. The steps of ropes and or wire use, and the location and use of rollers, dollies, and leads. Crew should make sure that there are enough manpower available to the task safely. Personnel should never stand in the bight of a rope or near a rope under tension, and they should treat ropes on drums and bollards with the utmost care. Detailed familiarization should take place to all new joining seafarers regarding the installation, use, and hazard related to permanent and loosely mooring equipment. Based on the risk assessment, appropriate control measures should be put in place. Actions to be taken during mooring and unmooring operations. A sufficient number of seafarers should always be available both forward and aft of the vessel to ensure a safe operation. A toolbox meeting should be conducted between master and officers in charge of mooring parties to discuss the mooring plan, the lines that are going to be used, the involvement with the terminals or ports personnel, use of tags, environmental conditions, and communication details. A supervising officer should be in charge of each mooring party, and a suitable means of communication, primary and secondary, should be established with bridge team. If this involves the use of portable radios, then the ship should be clearly identified by name to prevent confusion with other users. Appropriate PPE should be in the place of seafarers' protection, including safety helmet, safety shoes, and gloves. Last, special consideration instructions should be made for snap, back zones, and lines under tension in order to avoid incidents due to line failure. That's it.